So we were backstage at What Happens Live.
Yes.
And you know, the show's great, we're partying it up.
Oh my gosh, so fun, yeah.
But when we went backstage, you started talking to me about some deeper stuff happening in your life.
Yeah.
Some of the anxieties you'd been through. You talked about depression a little bit.
Yeah.
When did that all start?
I think when I first started noticing that I had anxiety or that something was, I wanted to start searching for ways to describe how I was feeling because I couldn't really express them. I had no labeling for what I felt. When I was around probably like 15, 16, like those ages is when I really started looking up for ways to describe what I felt. And the words I came across were stress, anxiety, and depression.
So the child acting you were doing, which you started around age 9, right?
Yeah,
How did that play into this?
I think when the way that the entertainment industry played into the way that I felt, aside from just, maybe those things just being kind of a part of life, was the fact that I was not always able to feel like I was okay to be myself, having pressure, trying to continue to feel, this personality or idea that people had of me. That was really hard for me growing up.
The word breakdown comes up, the time when you sort of hit the bottom.
I think when I was 17, that was the first time I had told my parents, like, I really want to go to a therapist. I'd done some research, and again, coming from where I come from, these aren't things that people are openly talking about. I come from Robbins, Illinois, which is like a very small town, and just got a gas station a couple years ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very, very small town, and so when you're, depressed, you're lazy. When you're angry, it's not because you've experienced trauma and you don't know how to express yourself. It's just you're a bad person. Yeah. So I never had a way to describe these things. And so once I finally realized what was going on, I said, okay, I just need to talk to somebody.
But what happened that made you feel like you're out of sorts? Was there a moment you realized, I got to turn this around. It's not going the right way?
Yes, probably. I think it was just a point I'd hit with my parents and realizing that there was no way I could really communicate with them any longer what I was experiencing, and I needed to get outside. I need to get outside of that, outside of my family structure, to really understand the problems that I was going through.
One of the beautiful things about you, and I've learned a lot about you over the last few weeks, and this is her book, by the way, it's called I Don't Belong to You. And when I read this, I actually got fairly emotional thinking about how mature you'd become in your how old are you now?
I'm 23.
That's right, 23. It's not written the way a 23-year-old I would think would write a book. Now, parts of it are, obviously, you got emojis and all kinds of hashtags, and the gag is, and the bay. I'm getting all these words now. It's like, I got a whole glossary of things I got in the back of the book here to keep up with you.
I love it.
But the profound insights about the struggles that you were experiencing are there because you struggled with them.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to quote a little thing here. It says, I did not spread my wings because I was told I couldn't fly a certain way. And I believed it.
Yeah.
Now, how did that affect you?
Oh, that is the story I feel of life. It makes me emotional a little bit because, that is what we all go through. When I came into the industry so young, and specifically in that, I was talking about the music industry. I came in so young, singing in church, and I really allowed the industry to make me feel, because my mom and me wouldn't let them exploit me, that I couldn't be a musician, that it was not for me. I really allowed them to steal my joy and love for something right from under me. And that was the biggest heartbreak, of my life, was turning my back on music because of what people said to me. It was very hard for me.
What were they saying to you that made you think you couldn't do it?
It was just the overall voices that I kept hearing from different people, and they would say, your career's just mainly with acting, or, this is not what your fans really want, and, you can't really do R&B music, but it was about telling my story for me. Music was about telling my story. It was not about making billions of dollars. It was about being able to say, yo, this is where I came from, and this is where I'm going, and this is the sound I grew up with. I come from Chicago, and R&B, jazz, that's my thing.
There was a part of the book where you talk about this fight you were having with the record industry.
Yeah.
You say, it's not about selling singles. It's about people understanding who I am.
Right.
Why is that message so hard to deliver?
Because I think people like to put out facade in the entertainment industry of perfection, of glossiness, and that's just not who Keke Palmer is. I came from the hood. And that's the beautiful thing. And I don't want to hide that from other little girls that are from the hood. I want them to see me up here with you and say that they can do it.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new videos to live the good life.